Hello, welcome to Amy Toft Yoga. This is chair yoga. Hooray! We're going to begin standing up if that's possible for you. If not, sit in a tall seat. And I don't have the ideal chair because I'm just too lazy to go get a kitchen chair out here. So I'm just going to use the lawn chair today. And that's going to be all right. So if you're sitting, if you're standing, we're going to come to mountain pose. We're going to think about our toes, spread them out, press down through the big toe, lift up through our arch. And when we do that, we can feel this amazing engagement all the way up through our feet, through our legs, into our core. And that helps us stand tall and proud. We could bring our shoulders up and let our shoulder blades drift together, and our chin is level. This is mountain pose or Tadasana. What a good place to be. Everything's engaged, everything's active. And let's breathe here. We could bring our hands to our heart to breathe, kind of focus inwardly. We could leave our palms open, ready for whatever the world has. So you probably know that this is the year 2020 that Beethoven would have been 250 years old. If he were still alive, which he isn't. But if you would like to listen to a playlist or listen to some Beethoven, I've made a playlist on Spotify, or you can just find that anywhere. I have a quote from Beethoven as we're breathing. So let's think about how we're breathing. In through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe we're just making our exhales and inhales a little bit longer than normal. That's it. Nothing fancy. Basic, nice breathing. It seems to mean more when we notice what we're doing, right? So here's what Beethoven has to say. Playing a wrong note is insignificant, but to play without passion is inexcusable. And while we're breathing, let's think about that. I love it so much because we'll make mistakes. We'll make mistakes all the time. Play a wrong note, no big deal. And when you do play a wrong note, let's make it a good, loud, wrong note, right? This is Molly. When I make a mistake, I'm going to make a big one and do it with passion, because I don't want to live my life so careful, so quiet, that I'm afraid to make a big mistake. I want to live with passion. And think about if that's how you would like to live. And then we'll start with just a simple little hinge. Of course, we've already done the most important part, the breathing. And we're going to keep that with us through the rest of practice. So whether you're sitting, whether you're standing, think about this part of the body right here where the legs attach to the torso. Okay, and I'm going to put my hands on my hips today, if that works for you. Again, notice how we're standing, lifting up through the arches of the feet. And we're just going to hinge right here. So like our back, our head, our front is all one muscle. And we're going to come down about halfway. And when we do that, sometimes when we do that, we want to stick our bum out. But we know better. We're not going to do that. We're going to hinge right here, coming forward, putting the weight into the balls of our feet or even into our toes. And our hands can rest just softly above our knees. And then we'll just straighten back up. We can do the same thing, hands on the hips. Forward. Think, am I sticking out my bum? Am I engaging my core to keep my weight in the balls of the feet? And then we'll just come on back up. And let's do it again. Hinge forward. And all one muscle, we come back up. Okay, so that hinging is so important. We'll use that all through our practice. Let's wake up our arms now. Lift them up high in the air. Spreading our palms so wide that we make a little arch in our hands. And then let's just check on our shoulders. Are they down in their sockets where they belong? We can open our arms out to a T. We'll just flip our palms up. That flips our biceps up too. And back down. And again, you don't need to be standing for this. You can totally be sitting. I don't know why I am standing actually. Back down. Oh, because of the next thing. So this, then arms just come down to the side. Downhill skier. So we're going to crouch back. Now this time it is okay to stick your bum out. So we'll just put our hands here on our knees, and then we'll bring our forearms or elbows down to our thighs. I like to step my feet just a little bit wider apart. I'm pressing palms together, and I'm lifting my chest. So there's a nice curve in my back. My bum's sticking out, looking forward. And then slowly, I'm just going to straighten my legs and let my head go down. And then bend my knees. Come on back up. Lift my chest forward. Thinking about my feet. Pressing into the big toes, lifting up through the arches. I will straighten my legs. Sitting back down. Taking a breath. Looking forward. And now, as we're looking forward, we're going to let our arms come back like a ski racer. Lifting our chest even a little bit higher. Pressing into our strong feet. We're going to stand all the way back up. Come back to mountain. Our feet are a little wide, but that's just fine. Just fine. And then the last thing we want to do is kind of get warmed up. And we could do this in our chair too, kind of energetically, like thinking about doing it. But we'll just make some pretend hula hooping with our hips. And then the other way. Okay, then we really will sit down. One thing that's always good to practice, I always do it in my chair classes at the YMCA, is getting up if you have fallen down. So, if, say, you're down on the ground, oh no, I had to get down and get something, now what? Okay, well, the first step is to get a chair, put your hands on the chair, and stand up. Okay, so that's one way to practice. And if you stay in a chair all the time, you don't need to worry about this. You can be quietly breathing. Or, let's say we're down again, okay? Or maybe we can step one foot in front of us, press into our knee, tuck our back toe, and we can stand up like that. Okay? And then the last one, the hardest one. And you know what? It's good to practice that on both sides. So let's do both sides. Coming back down. Having our knee forward. Pressing into our leg. This side is hard for me, but stand back up. Oh. Okay. And that's what we'll practice for today. And then if ever you want to, you can try it with no hands. But we've only got 30 minutes. So we're just going to keep going. We'll sit down in our chair now. My chair has arms, and it's best if your chair doesn't, but if it does, that's okay. We'll just deal with it. And we're just going to sit up tall in our chair, and it's also good if your knees aren't coming up higher. If your knees are level, that's a good thing. But it doesn't matter. We'll take whatever chair we have, and we'll twist. I'll take this, my right hand, put it on the outside of my left, and then maybe I'll hold the back of my chair and look back over my shoulder. But I want my knees to keep pushing straight ahead. I get really tall, long in the body. Inhale, and as I exhale, I just twist my torso, not my neck. And I'll just come on back, sit up tall again. Left hand over the right knee. Maybe just stretch my hand back somewhere. Sit tall, check my knees, still pointing forward. Good. And then inhale and exhale, just look around behind. Inhale, we get tall. Exhale, maybe we twist a little deeper, making sure our knees are still forward. And that's a nice twist to do anytime. And we want to kind of wake up our hips. So let's cross our left over right. And mine are sticking up high, but that's okay. And then we'll just kind of press this leg away from the other one. And that might feel enough sensation to you. You just notice how that feels. Or maybe you would like a little more sensation. And if so, we can just kind of, with our back long, see if we can come forward over our bent leg. Hands can just be hanging here, or you could put them together. I'm kind of using my forearms and pressing back so that I can lift up my chest. That gives me a really good sensation in my hip, but I'm not sure where you might feel it. And also if I flex this foot, that makes it a little more intense. I love this feeling because it is intense. Staying here and breathing, coming out when you need to. I can't see you. Do whatever you want. And then we'll just come on back up from that. Let our foot come down. Other foot. Cross up and over. And again, pressing down might feel good, and that might feel enough. Or if you feel like, I maybe could stretch forward. So we'll sit up tall, keep our back long, let our arms come forward, flex this front foot, and just see how that feels in this hip. Could be totally different. Lifting the chest, back is long, core's engaged, just breathing and breathing. Feeling the passion, feeling the gusto of opening up our hip. And then we'll bring our hands down. Something super nice to do is a back bend. So I'm just going to kind of hold the back of the chair. Lift my chest forward. I can press my knees together, or my feet could be about hip width apart. Just up to you. But we spend so much time as we get older curving down, or as we're young on our phones, or both. So let's just lift, press our shoulder blades together. Lift up. Just feel that opening in our heart. So nice. And then we'll come back to a tall seat. We're still staying up tall. We'll put our hands on our knees. Let's stretch our feet way out in front of us. Lawn chair. Not sure how sturdy this is, so I'm going to hold the sides. You might want to do that too. And then we'll just pretend gas pedal. Pretend we're like vroom, vroom with our feet. So we're pressing our toes down, and then we're bringing our toe back toward us. So just one foot at a time. Press. Oh yeah. One foot is having trouble pressing. It doesn't understand the program. Press toes down, down, down. And now let's bring our both toes toward our shins. Still sitting up tall. That's a nice flex. Okay. We're going to stand up again if that's in your practice, if standing is okay for you. If it isn't, that's okay. So here's what you'll do if you're staying in your chair. We're going to do warrior one. So we'll bend one knee, we'll stretch one foot back. And this, see this leg, it's not perfectly straight. We're going for the feeling of a straight leg, and that's okay. And then we're just kind of hanging this part of our bum off the chair. And lifting our arms up if that feels okay, maybe even gazing up. I'm trying to soak up all the sun I can before we're inside. And then we'll bring our hands to our heart, and we're just gonna open up to Warrior Two. So if you know how to do these standing, you can do them standing. Open up our arms, and we're looking over these front fingers by the bent knee. And then we're going to reverse this, so we'll let our left hand come down, our right arm come up and over. Remember, not about how it looks, how it feels. This feels so good, so beautiful. And then coming back to Warrior Two, hope this leg's still hanging on. We're going to do one more thing. We're going to put our forearm down and lift up our arms side angle. So we're really not putting a lot of weight in this knee. Our nice strong core is holding us up. And then we'll bring our hands to our heart, take a breath, and as we do that, we'll let this back knee bend, come around. We'll do the whole thing on the other side. Okay. So again, you could be totally doing this standing. Warrior One, Warrior Two, reverse, side angle. Okay. But today, we'll be doing it in a chair or standing, whatever you like. So we stretch this leg out behind us. Again, the feeling of straight, not necessarily actually straight. The first time, our hips are facing our bent knee. We'll lift our arms up in the air. Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Then hands can come through our heart. We'll open them up to the side, Warrior Two. So now our hips are not facing forward anymore. Our hips are facing the side of us. We'll gaze over our front fingers. Shoulders right over the hips. And then we'll let our left hand come down. Our right, oops, wrong, I'm saying it backwards. Right hand come down, left arm up and over. Reverse warrior, sometimes called peaceful warrior. Back to Warrior Two. And then one more thing, our little elbow or forearm will come down to this thigh. And our other arm will come straight up in the air. Now while we're doing this, our shoulder's in its socket. We're lifting up, so we're not just lumped over onto our thigh, but our core is doing the work of holding us up. And then we'll bring our hands together. Come on back. A little bit awkward, right? Let's stomp our feet. Okay, now, couple more poses like this. So we're going to go the way we went the first time. Stretch our leg out. Now, we're going to try for triangle. So triangle, the legs are actually straight. So if you would like to triangle here, hand on the chair, other arm up, that's fine. But if you're in a chair, we'll just triangle with the bent knee. So we'll press down. Maybe our hand will come down to our shin. And we'll straighten our arm. Trying to get our arms kind of in a straight line. Maybe we even look up at our thumb. And then we'll bring that hand down. And we're going to do a wide forward fold here. So I'm just going to keep my feet like this. My knees are bent. If you're standing up, I'll be like this, okay? And then we're just gonna kind of shift forward. Maybe hold the ankles, maybe gaze forward, engaging the core. We're not just letting our belly hang. And then maybe we just glance on down. Alternative to this is to straighten out our feet while we do it. So I mean straighten out our legs while we do it. But if we do, we're going to keep holding onto the chair. We do not want to slide off the front. Okay, one more crazy pose. Still this same front leg, okay? We'll do pyramid. So, as if both legs were straight. Okay, so this still has a little bend in it, and so does this. That's okay. We'll pick our arms up, and then we'll just kind of fold down over this leg. Let our head come gently toward our knee. So the back of this chair is totally digging into my leg. So I'm just going to stand up and show another version of pyramid standing up. Just hinge forward, hinge, and then let our head come on down. So our hands could be down on the ground, our hands could be on the chair as we let our head hang down. Then we press strongly into our foot. We'll come back up and we're going to do the other side. So if you're sitting, first thing we'll do is triangle. So we'll just kind of press our hand down and lift our other arm up. Or we could be triangle with a hand on the chair. Your choice. And then we'll do the forward fold again. So we'll turn our toes forward and maybe we hinge and stay here. Maybe we feel okay with letting our hands slide on down. Maybe we're touching the chair. Hinging, touching, and maybe we're in the chair with our legs out wide. And then pyramid. So pyramid in the chair is hard, but just kind of do the best you can to get the feeling of it. It's mostly like bringing your nose down. Wow. So hands could be on the hips, so we'll tip our nose forward. Or our hands could come on down. Or if we're standing, pyramid, hands could be resting on the chair, on the floor, on our leg, or even on our hips. And then pressing into our feet, we'll come on back up. So it's always good to do a balanced pose. If you're in a chair, we're going to do tree. If you're in a chair, your tree could be forward and then up. If you're standing, you may want to come behind your chair. Oh, you won't be able to see me. If you're standing, you may want to come behind your chair just to hold on. And then we'll just, we'll just stand firmly in one foot and pick up the other. So our chair could be with our toe tucked on the side, on the into the ankle, or it could come a little higher with our foot on the ground. So I've got this chair right here. I can touch it if I need to, but I could also practice bringing my hands to my heart and lifting them up. Maybe letting my tree grow. Maybe blow in the wind like is happening here. Hands to the heart. We'll bring that down. And then lock. Other side. Getting firm in our standing leg, lifting up through the arch of the foot. Maybe our tree is here with our toe against our ankle, with our heel against our ankle. Maybe we lift it a little higher. We just don't want to put our foot on our knee, okay? And then got the chair if you need it. Hands to the heart if that's okay. Arms can go up. Doesn't have to be the same as the other side. Woo! If you fall over, good. That means you're trying. Not if you fall down on the ground and get hurt. But you know, if you have to put your hand down, that's okay. Hand back to the heart. Take a breath. We'll just float it on down. Coming back to a seat. We'll sit back in our chairs now. Let our hands come onto our thighs. They can be palm down. They can be palm up. Let's think about our quote one more time. Playing a wrong note is insignificant, but playing without passion is inexcusable. Thank you, Beethoven, for that. Doesn't matter how old you are, you still want to live with passion, right? So we can think about that as we take a big breath in through our nose and then open our mouth and let it go. Then we'll just close our mouth, close our eyes if that feels okay to you. We'll just have a little Shavasana. You can stay in Shavasana longer, soaking up all the good things our bodies did, remembering how nice it feels to breathe deeply. And if you're coming along with me, then wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe flipping the head from shoulder to shoulder. If you'd like, we could bring our hands to our heart. I like to sit up tall. Bow the head. And think about some of the amazing things we're thankful for, specifically about our bodies, the wonderful, amazing creations they are, where they've taken you throughout your life, what they're doing for you all the time without you even thinking about it. Amazing. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.